This is a short video of how I deal with ants that I get into my house. They come in each year around the spring. This year's been especially bad. And I think that there's a few practices here that'll be helpful for other people that are dealing with this because it's a serious pain when it happens. So last night I heard a small noise. I'm in my basement. And excuse the mess, but if you've got ants in your house, then you might have a similar mess. I heard a noise in my basement as my cat came over to kind of eat something, and it turned out there was a small piece of food that was back here, right on the floor. And there was a trail of ants, and you can see one guy here. They're mostly taken care of. There's still one that's working its way back. But last night there was an army of them that were going back and forth to this morsel of dog food that was here, and they were all just munching down on it. So here's what I do. First, I don't disrupt the pattern that they're following. They're here, they're eating something, and they're going someplace else. And I want to find out where they're going. And I trace that. There was a clear line that was down here on the floor. And what you'll see in other videos on YouTube is, as ants, they just have these explorers that go out, like this little guy too. And they're looking for food. Here we go, here's my little ant finder. They're looking for food. And once they find food, they lay down a trail of pheromones, and the other ants come and follow that trail to the food. And they lay down a stronger and stronger trail of pheromones, and they find a shortest path, basically, to get to the thing, and that's the thing that they wind up tracing. And they're still following it a little bit, but they went back this way, and then up this wall. Here's one that's still following a trail. There's probably a trace amount of the pheromones left. And they went up and up and up this bar that's built into my basement, along here to a crack right here in the wall. So that's as far as I can trace them, and then they're inside the walls and I don't know where they are. But I took a piece of dog food and an ant trap, and I laid it down at the closest point in that trail. Now, the next thing I do is, once I figure out where they're coming from, I do this. I lay down this this trap and this bait, something to keep them coming to that spot. So I'm just really trying to control the ants at this point. Once that's done, then I come with a sponge, and I'll probably do this a couple times today. I did it a couple times last night, and I try and clean the pheromone trail that they had left, because you can see there's still a bunch that are following in this crack between the grout between the wood siding and the tile that's built into this sink. But once that's done, they'll go here, and I can get them hopefully to just go take this poison and go back and kill the ants, and not have them going everywhere in my house. And I don't have them exploring either. That's the other key thing here. What I'm really trying to do is stop them from exploring for more food and kill them, I guess. I'm not really crazy about killing animals and insects and so on, but I don't want them in my house, so I got to stop that. Really, what I need to do fundamentally then is stop them from getting in from the outside. But once they are inside, I can't really stop them on their trails inside the walls. That's really hard, at least for me to do. But I can stop them from exploring inside the house and hopefully get them to go just take this bait here. And I must have done something to disrupt them a little bit. And this is another reason that it's important, once you find that trail, not to go screw with it too much. There's none here because they don't have a trail to follow, but there's none here, and I must have disrupted one or two of them, because once they get alarmed, they send some sort of distress signal, and the whole bunch go back to their hive. They hide, and they're all gone right now, and that's because I've done something to disturb them a little bit. Mostly anyway. There's still some that are here in the crack, but this piece of dog food was just covered with ants a minute ago. Anyway, if you have ants, they're pain. I hope this is kind of helpful to you to figure out what you can do with them. This ant stuff, by the way, this is a thing called Amdro or something like that. It's just at Home Depot. You can find some other stuff too, but this stuff is pretty non-toxic to animals, as I understand it. I've done a little bit of research on it. There's some other stuff that's very bad for humans and all kinds of other animals, but this stuff allegedly is not too bad. It's just it's something that it's like an endocrine disruptor that really impacts insects or something like that. All right, good luck with your ants.